Hey there, we're Acadian Adventures, a cruising channel trying to begin our trip around the world for the past 3 years. We've hit a few roadblocks along the way, including a Cat 5 hurricane and now a global pandemic. But we don't give up. With borders closed and the boat finally ready to go, for this season we're doing the next best thing, cruising the US East Coast. So relax, grab a drink, and come along with us. Support videos you enjoy by clicking the like button, leaving a comment, and subscribing.
Thumbs up and subscribe!
Last week on Acadian, we do a haul out in Georgetown, Maryland, after getting a little too close and personal with a rock wall. In this episode, we have 7 free days in the Boatyard to repair our keel, rudder, and propeller. So we break out our tools and get to it. Yeah, so you had a few spots. Scrape back as far as it will go and then sand it and paint it. Alright, so we this morning Holly and I did some sanding. We did some prep work in preparation to fix the fiberglass issues we're having. See on the rudder. Got a few repairs to do. Nothing too major though. The rudder had a little bit of damage on that leading edge. So we're going to put some glass on her. Make her strong again. A few spots in the bottom paint that were flaking off. So we're going to repair those. Now we're going to wash her before we do any of that work. Just get all the dust off. We've discovered that the rudder on our boat is waterlogged. It's a foam cord rudder, so you can see the foam inside the sandwiched in between fiberglass, right? So it's just fiberglass. Probably the fiberglass is a good 1/4 of an inch thick, so really thick fiberglass, and then a nice core, foam core. So that means a couple things. The rudder is really light. The rudder will float, which is good, so I guess it's always pushing up on the boat. It's a really good thing. But it's also saturated with freaking fluid now, and we had a bunch of cracks in it. I guess that's how all the water got into it. And the water's salty, so it tells me that this has been a problem for a while. So we have to get the water out before we can fix the fiberglass, all the cracks. The way we're gonna do that is, I drilled this hole just a little bigger than a vacuum, right here. And we're just gonna turn the vacuum on and hopefully we can suck it all out. I'm literally beating the keel back into shape. You can see it's got this little gouge right here left. There's a lip on the bottom right here. I just can't get the hammer underneath.
It's already looking better.
It looks a tick.
Yeah. Sure, it's scary, buggy.
Yeah. I was able to shape it back into shape for the most part. I got this one spot right here that I gotta fill in. But not too bad, not too bad. Nothing we can't fix. The next thing I'm gonna do is fill in this hole, this divot in the keel. That way, you know, it's nice and smooth profile and that we don't have any catch point for to catch onto anything while we're underway. Waiting on this rudder to dry out, which will be pretty quick. It looks like it's working. So yeah, that's the next thing. And I'm gonna use just a 2-part epoxy. I got some JB Weld, nothing fancy. Just something that's gonna stick on there, harden up, and I can shape it the way I need to shape it. So let's do it. Here's the repair we just did on this, on the keel. Just a really quick and simple filler. Basically just filled it and gonna fair it in, and then sand it down, make sure it's nice and smooth, and paint over it. All right, so we are just about ready to begin fiberglassing. The way I'm going to do that is really simple. So I'll pre-cut all of the pieces. You can see here all the pieces, and then they consecutively get smaller. And the reason I'm doing that is, if you look at the holes, the deepest part of the hole is right in the center, right? So we make the biggest patch first, and consecutively get smaller. That way it builds up in the center, and then when we go to sand it, it'll sand out flat and it won't have any divots in it.
looking good, babe.
Yeah. Gonna have a lot of sanding to do on this. That's okay. That's what it is. Sheesh. This is starting to kick. Hurry, 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 hurry. Take one down. Not happening.
No. It's like an Irish car bomb.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mix too much. Alright, I'm gonna do another smaller batch right here. Just 2 should do it. My brushes. Solid, look at that. I'm trying to get this done before this stuff kicks off all the way.
Faster.
I'm trying, but as fast as I can.
Yeah, it looks real smooth.
So here it is. This is the rudder before we put the paint and epoxy and paint on her, back on her, after the fiberglass repairs. So you can see we did all the repairs. It came out really nice. Yeah, this one I had to actually go all the way through and through into the foam to dry the foam out a little bit before we did the repairs, but that's okay. So our next step is going to be, we're going to prep for paint. If you look at the repair, so when we grind it down, you see the gray color, that's the epoxy underneath the gel coat, and then another light gray color, that's more epoxy on top of gel coat, and then the red and the black is the ablative paint. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put one really thick layer of epoxy to basically bring it back up to this level of this epoxy. So no gel coat. And the epoxy we're using is an epoxy specifically for waterproofing. We're just gonna put a really thick layer in all these spots, and then once we get up to the thickness we want, then we're gonna put some anti-foul on it. The dreaded blisters nobody wants to have on the bottom of their boat. It's what it is. It's just blisters in the gel coat. It doesn't go into the fiberglass. Ground a couple of them out on the rudder. So no fiberglass damage. It's just in the gel coat. Hope this is still good. I got wet, a little wet.
We have a brand new thing of it.
Yeah, we got a whole nother roll that we're not gonna paint. So like right there. See that?
Yeah.
So when we go to paint, we want the paint to get on that, up to that edge right there, that gray edge, right? Mm-hmm. So really you want to leave just the white exposed, and the gray, a little bit of the gray, not much. Your progress is coming a whole lot faster than mine.
I better tape.
All right, so the product we have is what the little marine store had. It's Interlux Interprotect 2000E, and it's just a barrier coat. So we're reapplying barrier coat in the spots that need it. Lord, it's just
stick.
Yeah. It's like the mud that we anchor in the Chesapeake Bay.
Whew. Smells strong.
Oh man, my hand. Make sure it's the consistency of a good roux. Alright, I'd say that's pretty good. One. That's 1.5 ounces, so I need 8, right?
Yeah.
That's 1.5. Hey, we got our prop back. Check it out.
It's all shiny.
Nice and beautiful and shiny. No more rolled edge. They did a really good job fixing it. It's good. I wonder if we're gonna get any extra speed out of this. I bet we will. It was in pretty bad shape. It's right on there. Nicely.
Do you have to use some kind of tool to...
You look at the shaft, watch. So it's a tapered shaft. See that? Mm-hmm. You see this thing right here? It's called a key. Mm-hmm. Right? If you look inside of here,
it has to fit over that.
See the key? Mm-hmm. Right, so that way the prop can't spin on the shaft. As the shaft spins, the prop spins with it. Right. Bang. So it's a nice, tight, snug fit. And just tighten the crap out of it. And I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on the shaft this time. Put some on the threads. Alright. Nice pretty prop. You guys did a really good job on this. See that? It's like they acid cleaned it. Got plenty of material left in it. It's good. Nice. I'm happy with that. And then you take this one and you run it up behind the first nut. It's called a jam nut. Basically, it doesn't allow that one to back off at all. Just locks it, locks everything in place. The last thing to do is you gotta go to the store and buy a little key, a little pin.
Okay.
To so that you put it through there.
What happened to the one that was on there?
It was broken.
Oh.
One of the look, it's right exactly. It's right here.
That's not good. Huh?
Yeah, and you see one of the little pieces is broken off. And actually, I've got some of these in the boat.
It's just a cotter pin.
It's just a cotter pin, that's all it is. Yeah.
Alright, final touches, huh, then?
Yeah, we're painting. Repairs are finished. And now we just gotta put some paint on it. We're using so we use a Seahawk product on our boat. It's a Seahawk Q coat is the anti-fouling, and then we use the Seahawk shark skin as the epoxy. All we can afford is 1 gallon of paint, so that's all we get. Bottom painted. That's it. Done.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, I think it came out good too.